Today, the January 6th investigation interviewed one of its highest-profile witnesses yet, the former president's son, Donald Trump Jr. Politico reports the interview was conducted voluntarily, without a subpoena, and lasted several hours. No word on what was discussed, but investigators no doubt were interested in Don Jr.'s texts with Trump's chief of staff and, of course, in conversations that he may have had with his father. And here's one more piece of January 6th news you should know about. A few months ago, you may recall that this gentleman was arrested by federal agents. This is his mugshot there. His name is Stewart Rhodes, and he, eye patch and all, it's quite an interesting story behind that, is the leader of a right-wing dress-up pseudo-paramilitary organization called the Oath Keepers. He was arrested. He was charged with seditious conspiracy, a conspiracy against the United States government. Stewart Rhodes led a group of Oath Keepers to Washington on January 6th. Now, several of those Oath Keepers arranged themselves in these military stack formations, which formed a sort of spear for the actual breaking into the Capitol that day. The indictment of Stewart Rhodes and 10 other Oath Keepers on charges including seditious conspiracy describes what they planned that day as the, quote, plot to oppose by force the 2020 lawful transfer of presidential power. On the 6th of January, Oath Keepers who were not actively storming the Capitol were stationed with what they called quick reaction forces just outside of Washington, D.C., where they stockpiled weapons, presumably ready to be able to access them on short notice and come in blazing, cavalry-esque. Well, today, a new development in this case, one that may bring the Oath Keepers' plot that day one step closer to President Trump and his inner circle. The leader of the North Carolina chapter of the Oath Keepers today pled guilty to that seditious conspiracy charge. He is now the third Oath Keeper to do so. Mr. Wilson, that's his name. He's agreed to cooperate with federal prosecutors as part of his plea. He's already told them about one alarming episode about which we previously did not know. William Todd Wilson says that about 5 p.m. on January 6th, he and Stewart Rhodes and other Oath Keepers left the Capitol and went to a nearby hotel. At the hotel, quote, Rhodes gathered Wilson and other co-conspirators inside of a private suite. Rhodes then called an individual over speakerphone. Wilson heard Rhodes repeatedly implore the individual to tell President Trump to call upon groups like the Oath Keepers to forcibly oppose the transfer of power. This individual denied Rhodes' request to speak directly with President Trump. After the call ended, Rhodes stated to the group, "I just want to fight." So the leader of this paramilitary group, who had a bunch of people stationed with stockpiles of weapons just outside Washington, D.C., tried to get in touch with President Trump to get some kind of go-ahead order, I presume. He didn't get through to the president, but it certainly sounds from the court document like whoever was on the other end of that phone line had the ability to connect him with Donald Trump that day. Who was Stewart Rhodes talking to? And if this was someone with direct access to President Trump, why did the leader of a paramilitary group have the person's phone number in the first place? It's hard not to wonder what would have happened if Rhodes had reached President Trump that day.